Hello. Hi. Hi, Matovu. Are you still there? Are you still there? Hello. Who's watching? Hello, hello. Sorry, today it's unfortunate that today we're a bit late, extremely late, but because of circumstances. But at least we are here with you guys. Hello, who's watching us today? Hello, hello. Let's wait for people to join in. We apologize.
If you've joined in, please just leave a comment so that we know at least we are communicating.
Go Travels. Hello, how are you doing? How is the sound? Is it okay? Is it perfect?
Welcome back, Kevin Lowy.
Kevin Lowy, thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin Lowy. We appreciate that you're here. You will have to buy us beers for waiting. But we are so sorry. Today has been a very, we didn't expect, we didn't intend.
Yeah, we didn't. It was
exactly. So tell us, how is the sound? Is the sound okay? Is the picture okay? Please let us know in the comments so that we can first catch up for the first session. You know how we do it. First catch up with you guys. Know where you're watching us from. How is the situation?
Is good.
Okay, that is better. Then Smooth was saying something. Let me try and open up from here so that we can reach your comment. It's so early today. David Thorne. Okay, thank you so much, David Thorne. How are you doing? How is everything? Let us know where you're watching us from.
Just leave a comment of where you're watching us from.
At least we know where David Thorne is watching us from, because we have said that several times. But you can as well tell us, Thank you guys for joining. 10 people here already. So please make sure to give the video.
Share this videos on different platforms. Tell them we're actually back. We are sorry we are late today.
Yeah, today has been extremely so late, but at least we are here with you guys. But we appreciate everyone who has just joined. Just give the video a thumbs up and let us know where you're watching us.
Is watching from Orlando.
Oh, wow. How is Orlando? Kevin, how is Orlando? How is life? How is the COVID situation right now? Please let us know. Google Travel is saying, I'm looking for an African wife, so I'm looking forward to this discussion. Wow. That is interesting.
He's watching from Osio.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Matovu, and thank you for waiting. Your beer awaits. When you come to Kampala, we shall definitely give you a beer.
A whole crate.
A whole crate if you want to, by the way. Sorry, we are not really screaming so much because we have visitors. That's why we took so long to come here. But no worries. We are happy to be here with you guys. I'm just trying to open up so that I can read your comments.
Kevin says everyone should support this channel.
Amen to that. Tell them to support the channel, but at least we have loyal people who always support us all the time. They come and watch. We appreciate you guys. We value you guys so much. That's why we make it a point at least every Wednesday to come and discuss this.
Because the other ones are just busy. So we don't get to see you people, but at least this one we get to speak to you people.
Yeah, at least we can now read your comments. Hello guys, let's just catch up. Let's update you on what is happening in Kampala. So if you're new here, by the way, my name is Tina, and she's the B and in the B and T Lifeline, and I'm the T in the B and T Lifeline. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Keep sharing these videos. We have amazing content for you guys on real estate, on lifestyle, and places. Of course, lifestyle has been so slow a little bit this year, but was so exactly. But we are going to make sure that when situations get better, we are going to get back, of course, to showing you people what you really love about Kampala, places to go to. So basically, so much is going to be coming up on lifestyle, but of course real estate, we have so much in store for you people. We got amazing stuff for you in store. So
very good deals. People make us go to the field.
We go to the field. You go and get your request. So basically we are super excited to share all this on this channel. So if you're new here, don't get confused. If you see real estate videos, then again you see people discussing other topics. This is a real estate and lifestyle channel. So don't get confused. We appreciate you guys so much. So we are going to give you updates on what is happening in Kampala. Kampala is basically a very beautiful place. It is hot right now. Yeah, it is too hot. The weather is it's just moderate, I should say, because it rains sometimes in the night. Then
but it's a rainy season.
it's a rainy season. Wow. But it's a rainy season, but it's a bit hot right now because we're out the whole day shooting for you videos. But we're doing videos for you, but it was a very hot day for us basically. Oh, Kevin Lowy, thank you so much for the super chat.
Whatever you guys need to help this channel, keep up the great work.
We appreciate so much, Kevin Lowy. And thank you so much for being one of our
loyal
yeah,
subscribers.
and is a member in our channel. He has been support. Yes, we appreciate for that as well. Then love you, Queens, Kentucky. Yeah, Darren is saying is in Kentucky. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all our subscribers in the diaspora. You guys are amazing. You guys have supported us amazingly, and we are here. Of course, this motivates us to work really so hard and bring you content exactly that you will learn from. So basically, as you see from the topic of the day, we are going to be talking about, do men value African women? Yeah, let's just discuss. I'm going to be sharing with you people
we are going to
the
have
link
there too.
Exactly. So
we have to engage our subscribers.
we have to engage our subscribers. You guys requested us to engage you guys.
If you want to say something, you can always join.
Exactly. So hello, Mr. Truth. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanking Kevin Lowy for us. We appreciate so much, Mr. Truth, for coming in. God bless you. So basically, as you can see, oh, there are 5 people who have already liked. There are 14 people watching, but they're not liked the video. Please like the video as well. Support. Let me share the link with you guys. I think I copied it. Let me see whether I can be able to share it here. Let me try and see. Just a moment. The comment. This is supposed to press not copy. Sorry, I'm just trying to copy I mean to paste the link. I've not yet copied. Wow. Sorry for that. Let me see. Just trying to see how I can
go back again.
Don't know. Let me see.
We're just trying to copy the link.
Talking bit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're just trying to copy the link with you people. We're just trying to find a way of copying the link. Bear with us. But Rashid says Rashid Freestyler says hello, lady.
Hello, Rashid. How are you doing? How is Dubai? How is Dubai? Are you doing well? I'm just trying.
Wilson Jean says good evening.
Good evening to you, Wilson. How are you doing? Where are you watching us from? I had copied it already. Let me see. I'm just trying to figure out this. I'm just trying to copy the link for everyone here. Wow.
We're just trying to copy the link so you people can join.
Sorry, guys, we are going mute a little bit, but we are going to copy the link. I'm just trying to see how I can get this. Sorry for that, really. Sorry for that. So that we can invite you guys to give your opinions about this. Okay. Copy.
We're just trying to invite people, so we're just trying to share with you people the link. Please bear with us. And Wilson says, thank you so much, Kevin Love. Then still Alpha says, yeah, African men value African women. Everyone else just want to use you for your body.
try that. I'll be reading people's comments and we'll see how we figure out this.
Yeah. This is Africa says I value African women and I've been married for mine for 15 years.
Wow, that is amazing. Who is that?
This is Africa.
This is Africa. 15 years. Wow, that is a long time. You know, it is so rare nowadays to find someone who has been married for 15 years. So if someone really says that they've been married for 15 years, then really, that should be a good one. I'm just trying to figure out this reading. Sorry, guys, we are really struggling with the phone today. I don't know why. I don't know what is happening here, but we are trying to see how we can go about it.
Finally. So that there is the link. That there is the link for those who wish to join, because today is going to be a discussion. It's not going to only be B and T.
Honestly, every time Black Americans ask me about South African women, it's about bedroom things. Really irritates me. Wow, that is still alpha. So you can imagine what people really think about that. Yeah, alpha says, then this is Africa says I concur. So most people really don't look at us, don't value us. What they think about is maybe the bedroom issues and stuff. Oh, wow, that is so strange. And I think that is really so common with so many people. But let's just give our opinions before we invite people to come and give their opinions about this.
We have a number of guests.
Yes.
If you would love to join also, please feel free.
Feel free to join as well. We would really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. But we appreciate those who are giving their comments and their contribution towards the discussion of the day.
Even if you can't join, you can just write a comment,
Exactly. But Betty, if we were to address this kind of topic, because it came from the previous discussion, we had a discussion here with so many people, and we were talking about, what do African women really want with the foreigners, dating like foreigners. So this topic came up from one of you, and we feel like this is something that we need to address. Are we really valued? If you're to put it there, are we really valued, African women? Sometimes I think we are not really valued to a bigger percentage. To a smaller percentage, of course, there are those who can value women, African women, but to a higher percentage, I must assure you guys, we are not really that valued because of what we go through. That's what I would really say. Because of what we go through, I feel this is really so sad that we go through. People take us for advantages. Maybe they want to exploit us. Maybe they have selfish gains as well. So I feel, we are so undermined in society as well as African women. You don't have a voice. If you're to put out something there, if you're going to say something in the public, people don't really value what a Black or African woman would really say, because they feel you don't have a voice, you don't have to say anything. So I want to hear from you guys what you really think about the topic of the day. Do men really value African women? Yeah. Abu Matovu is saying, I think even advanced aliens pass by us to look at Uganda. Wow, this is really so true. Yeah,
they look at them, but do they value them? Because today we are talking about majorly, do these people value these women?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then this is Africa is saying, it is true African men do appreciate more because of the cultural values where most men are from the West and others don't even care. Yeah, but with the current situation whereby there is a lot of polygamy, I really don't think, in our societies, even for the African men who are here in Africa, because of this polygamy that has really come up, I feel most people don't really value our morals. People don't really value, women so much. Why would someone, because most people want polygamy, I've had so many people who have come on these lives and they want to marry more than one woman.
They're coming to Africa.
They're coming to marry. Is that valuing women here, or you feel maybe these are just things, these are just objects that I can just, please, and I have them all? Let's just hear from you guys so that we can be able to know. Let me put this here. Hello, Liz. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let me tag this. Yeah.
Liz says, thank you. You look so good today. Thanks
Thank
for
you
the
so much. Looking is not a value, just lust. That's why there's a lot of aliens. Yeah, I think it's just lust. Because the other day I was just out with one of my friends and she told me she was meeting this other, okay, this is now like, this is not a black guy. I think he was meeting the other race. And she told me he was like, he's a foreigner here, but he was saying he's going to walk down his dog. So what did he really mean? So I felt like this person really was meaning her. So we are really undermined as black women that we don't see it. I think this person was being a racist, but it was really so sad to hear that.
She really meant.
I don't think so. Because he was new in the country, he was new in the country. So where is he going to get the dogs to walk down? And they were pushing her down. Really, yeah. So still Alpha is saying polygamy means African women are not valued. Yes, yeah. That's what I think. I think polygamy means African women are not valued at all. Polygamy is not just about sex. Have two wives. My first wife chose my second wife about building a family. Wow. Because I feel maybe because of religion. Do you think it's about religion that you should respect people's religion, that they can have more than one woman? But as a Christian, I feel that would be disrespectful as an African woman. Why would you choose? That means I don't give you enough. That means I don't have enough to offer to you as an African woman. What do you guys think? Because I feel this is really, we are being misguided here. But of course, because of religion, some people we have to respect that as well. Yeah. I've written down some points here. And there are also some men here who just want to take advantage of other women, for some benefits as well. There's a guest here. Yeah, there's a guest there for us. Hi, William. Hello.
Hi, DNT. How are you today?
DNT, how are you today? We are good. How are you? Thank you for joining the stream.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Wow. Thank you. We appreciate. Do you have anything to say about the topic of the day?
Well, today we are discussing do men value African women. So we'd love to know from you.
You can give us your opinion.
Yeah.
Hello. I think you just went off. Hello. We can't hear you.
Liam, are you there?
Then Fiona is saying, still Alpha, at least you did the right way. Most men will cheat and then attempt to bring them side chicks as their second wife, and they get caught. Oh, they are pregnant. That is so true. When someone brings an appreciation, like you tell your wife, because in as Muslims, they first tell the first wife, like, I'm going to get someone else. You have to appreciate, give your reasons as to why you want the second wife. So I think we'll still Alpha. I think he did something really right than going out, cheating, because cheating is one of the things that is really so common, especially in Uganda. African men have just gone into something else. I don't know what to call it, but these guys are becoming something else. They are married, and especially the married ones have so many side chicks here and there. So I don't think whether there's more value in marriage right now, or they're just, doing it for fun, whether they're doing it for their selfish gains or something like that. So basically, this is really so common. And when Fiona says that, I think we should also, she's really right. Yeah, about that. Roll with Liz.
Hello.
This is also true. Hello. Yes, William. Liam Media.
Yes, can you see me?
Yes, can you see me?
Yes,
we can.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yes, the question was, do African men or do men respect women? Is that a question?
Yes, please. Do men value African women?
Oh yes, absolutely, they do, in my own opinion, because I think African women are raised differently.
Okay.
They are raised in a way that they're supposed to take care of the home. They start with the husband, then they go down to the children and any other members of the family. So 100% they are respected because the business or the affairs of the home are equally important. So men that have grown up with mothers or with a complete family, they get to know that a woman is so important and they're supposed to be very supportive. They're supposed to be very listening. However, if somebody has been raised in a different background, they might not know exactly how to deal with a woman. So, like we all know, very little efforts are made to empower the African boy. So he's out there. He does everything by himself. He gambles and he falls down. He gets up by himself. So very rarely do they have like a reference point, somebody to refer to, so that they can be a man. So many of them learn on the go. But on the whole, I would say that I would say that men do actually respect African women because they know that the African women are cultured. However, this doesn't take away the fact that there are some men that take advantage of some of these well-cultured women.
Okay, so William, sometimes we've had so many people, because when you say that, of course, people value. We don't refuse that the African men really value these women, African women. But in most cases, you realize that there's a lot of cheating. There's a lot of cheating in society, whereby people are not satisfied with one person. Yes, we have the cultural values taught to us, as African women. People respect us, people love us for the cultural values that we have. But why do people have the audacity, to have multiple women in society, running up and what is pushing them, multiple women, not to value one person? Okay, even if it's polygamy, that
Can you value
three people, is that even sensible? Okay, religion really allows you that, but is it really sensible in the fact that someone can really value more than three women?
Yes, I can see somebody called Matovu Abu. He says polygamy started before I was born. In the Bible, someone had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Yeah, so this is this is a problem that has lasted for as long as probably the world has existed. Now, I think the issue comes down to how do we manage such situations when you find that your spouse, that is your husband, is seeing another person. So what happens is that sometimes it's not entirely about being disrespectful, but remember there are certain people that have different cultural practices. Okay, let alone the Muslims that are allowed to have four wives. But then when we go back to certain traditions, it's okay for them to have more than one wife, and they do not have to consult the first wife whether they should acquire another wife. So men are naturally hunters. So not that some people say men are dogs, but no, it's just a hunting instinct. You just want to see the next person, and you just want to find out. Yes, absolutely. You might not necessarily actually go all the way to marry them. Sometimes it could be for the sake of I need to get to know this person. I just want to be friends with them. I find them really nice. I want them to be in my space. I don't necessarily want to take them on as a wife. Now the problem comes in if this person gets so attached or they seem to be spending so much time with this other person that has come around. Chances will be that he'll be branded as a cheater and then insecurity is cropping. Before you know it, you're finding it so difficult to be in the home. Your wife is already calling you names and things like that. I know of certain friends of mine that spend hours in the bar before the whole curfew hours were um, instituted. These guys could be in the bar for hours, and when it clocked midnight, they would always wonder why some of their friends had to leave, and you would see the sadness on their faces because they knew that for them they are not comfortable in their homes, so they're really compelling their colleagues to hang around. Yeah, but it's not easy to we can't rule out the fact that some men just enjoy the whole situation of wanting to have multiple partners. But the truth is that there are those that are well cultured and they understand that it's important to maintain one wife, respect that wife, help her help her become better as a person, understand what her desires, what her aspirations are, and make her a better person. So for me, I'm on the side of those that really understand that it's important just to have one wife. I mean, just one wife, helping her to become the best, the best of what she has desired to be, is actually a lot of work. So some people are just plainly selfish, if I could put it that way. Um, but they fail to see the bigger picture. So you spread your resources thin, and then it becomes a problem. You won't be able to achieve much, and then you might think that your cultured African woman is not aware of what you're doing. But I think women are really blessed with some kind of instinct. Somehow they get to know that something has changed, and this gentleman is divided, and something is going on.
William, you said it is a lot of work, you know. It's a lot of work
Hectic.
to value your woman. What do you really mean by it's a lot of work? Because as women are so easy to please. We don't really require so much.
What did you mean by that?
Like
statement?
it's too much. Because if you're saying that maybe you can spend so much to please someone, because women are easily pleased. That's what I thought. So I
No,
was really confused when
about
you pointed that out.
about being
Okay.
supportive and being consistent
Supportive,
with
yeah.
one woman.
One
Let's say
woman,
if
yeah.
it's if she's my spouse, I look at this in the sense that I want her to be. She has her own aspirations. She's got things going on. She has her own dreams. I want to be part of that process. And being part of the process of supporting somebody that you're married to is not easy because you have your own life to go on with. Say if you have a job, say, or if you have um, other things going on, like we all get busy. Now you're trying to support your wife. For instance, if she's a corporate person, or if she's got a startup, or whatever it is that she's doing, that is what I was looking at. That you're supposed to be fully involved in whatever she's doing because now the two became one. So it's not just about um, the whole thing of knowing that she trusts me, that I'm the only man in her life, and that's it. I'm talking about being involved in the affairs of her life, her career, all these other aspirations that she would want to achieve. Those are the things that I'm really passionate about. I just don't want to live with somebody that I won't be able to support.
Hello, this is Africa.
Are you there?
Hello, Betty and Tina. How are you doing?
We are great. How are you doing? Thank you
Not
so
too
much for
bad.
joining the live stream.
You're welcome.
Hmm.
What do you think about the topic?
The topic, it's a pretty good topic, actually.
Okay.
Um, I think a lot of guys who are looking for a wife to be dedicated to one, that's going to be hard for a lot of men to do because you can't just say because we're living in a new era. It's been going on since the beginning of time. Men are very visual, but that's not an excuse. But men are very visual, so they'll take that as an excuse and maybe even call it natural to go and pursue other women, whether if they're married or not. But that's not to say all men are going to do that. And for me, I wouldn't want to marry more than one woman because one woman being married to by yourself is a lot of work on its own. Now, I don't say it's a lot of work and saying that that's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But I wouldn't want to have to handle two different women in the household.
This is Africa. You said you've been married for 15 years. How's
Yes.
been the journey? How should someone really, because that is a long time. You know, nowadays marriages do not last for that long. Maybe someone can learn from you. How have you managed the whole situation? Like to, you know, be with the same person for this long time, because you can value your woman, maybe make her happy so that she cannot look anywhere else. How has your African woman also been there for you? Like for all this time, how do you handle the whole situation of being together?
Well, I think first of all, I'm hearing an echo, so it makes it kind of hard for me to talk. Hold on one second. Can you still hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. This is Africa.
Okay, so basically, I think it starts with personal principles. Like my main principle for getting married and just staying with one woman is to have a wife that will not try to seek divorce within 20 years or less. That is a common theme within the Western world, that a woman's going to divorce you, whether the relationship is good or bad. She's going to seek a divorce within 20 years or less. The UK and the USA are over 50% divorce rate. And basically, it's almost always the woman who's asking for a divorce. And a lot of times the excuses are, I just want to be single again. So, I mean, a person who tells herself she just wants to be single again after she's gotten a car, gotten a couple kids, maybe gotten a career out of it, that's somebody who really has no cultural values. First of all, she doesn't respect herself, so therefore she never respected the husband. But there's men that do that too in the West. Now, you say these days there's not a lot of marriages lasting for that long, like 15 years. So is that what you're seeing in Uganda? Because I'm not seeing that in Kenya.
No, that is not really so common in Uganda as well. So that situation is not really common here as well because we value marriage. By the time you get married, you know why you're getting into it. You're ready for it. So it's not really common. And of course, now when you say that it is the opposite side, like the women are the ones who ask for the divorce. They're the ones who are always there. After getting everything, then they ask for it. It's not really so common here, but it's something that is really cropping up like before compared to the how it used to be. It's quite different.
But nowadays it's increasing.
Exactly.
Okay. So what do you think is the main motivational factors for women to even ask for divorce in Uganda these days?
Like you said, selfish benefits after them
Mhm.
acquiring. If they knew maybe the man is having the money, has a good property, has maybe companies here and there, and they know that they're going to get maybe half of it, that's when they
Mhm.
would acquire it. But it's not really so common. It depends really if it's been really a big issue. But I should really say that it's not something that has been so common here because they sit you down before you file a divorce, before you separate, and these families come together and they find a solution. But of course, it happens, like we said, there are people who are very selfish, who are so
Right.
westernized, who feel maybe it's okay, let me just do this. They didn't have the right intentions for marriage, first of all. So that also happens here as well. Like we said, people are westernized nowadays, so it really happens.
Okay, so that last part. So I think the motivational factor for even people to even consider this in places like Uganda or Kenya is that they are copying the West. They're watching too much Oprah, too much Ellen DeGeneres, too much whatever have you. And to be honest with you, when you listen and to these talk shows, you're listening to people. They may be the host, and they have a lot of different guests, but the host and a lot of their guests are people with broken lives. They're really not, and they may be making a lot of money, but they have no cultural values. Their lives are broken, and therefore they're playing out their lives, and basically they're influencing a lot of other people in other countries because we continue to sit in front of the TV or listen to the radio or listen to blog talk radio, things like that are influencing not just women but men to do things that they normally wouldn't do within their own culture. Do you agree or disagree?
We agree with that. Because what we see on TV, operas, everything, what TV shows us is what people are copying here. So it's just a culture that we also copy. Like people copy and they feel it's like it's good for them. So we really
There's
agree with you
something I want to
100%.
throw in.
How you doing, William?
Okay, William?
Yeah, now also there are circumstances where somebody gets married. Someone gets married when they're really young. For instance, in terms of, say, a lady gets married, say, right after campus. There are those that have actually gotten tired of marriage. They feel like they missed out on something in between. So I've had a couple of stories of people that felt like they got into the whole relationship much earlier on, and they feel like probably there's something they missed, and then mixed with the whole showbiz that they see, and unfortunately, if they get friends that have this toxic feminism sort of agenda, they simply wake up one day and they don't return home. So there are situations where um, people are supposed to be very careful and patient so that in a relationship can have different would say different journeys whereby it's swift at certain points, then it could become difficult at certain other points. So there are those individuals that don't have the patience to hang in there. So and if they're still young, they feel like they could probably move on. But then these are the ones that have been more exposed, the ones that are so much into Hollywood and things like that. They feel like they have time. They feel like they could actually divorce this particular guy, say at 30. They still have some more time, especially if they've gotten a kid or two. So, but eventually they find themselves stuck, and they make attempts to amend the relationship. Yep.
Wow, thank you so much, Liam, for that. But I wanted also to throw in one of the points because I feel sometimes it's finances. Financial discussions are not really put across whenever people are dating. Someone picks up a woman, maybe a university girl, like Liam said. Maybe some people are too young, and they get married and later realize, they're not ready because you've been giving her several gifts, promising her lots of things. Then when you marry her, when you get into marriage, like officially, then you stop doing what you were doing. That is also something that really causes conflict between, people. Women now feel they're not valued anymore. You used to value her then when you used to give her all these amazing gifts when you're dating, when you're chasing her. Then afterwards, you putting her in your house, you totally do not give her anything. Instead, you forget. Instead, you go for other people. What do you guys think about it?
I'll go second.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
I was talking about like finances, whereby you don't discuss about the finances before you get serious with marriage. Like before, if you're dating and you're giving this person everything before marriage, you're in the dates, you're taking her out, you're valuing her so much. Then later on, when you get married officially, you stop doing whatever you're doing, the person gets frustrated. Then later you abandon her because you tied a knot already. You expect her to be in the house, and you start valuing other women. What do you think about that? Isn't it something that makes people feel less valued?
Yeah, now that is, you see, nobody can continue campaigning, throwing money around just after a marriage. I mean, you just can't be extravagant the way you used to be back then. But anyway, jokes aside, the thing is that a conversation about money is not a very African thing, if I could put it in that context. Here on the African continent, it's very rare for couples to sit down and have this sort of conversation. There are certain cultures whereby a woman has been sort of taught that her husband is going to be the provider. This guy will go all the 9 yards to provide each and everything. The guy has to build the house. He has to provide the cars. He has to pay all the bills. There are people that have that sort of mindset. Now, and then their fathers usually tell these guys, their fathers and uncles usually tell them that never get into a conversation about money because um, it's not our kind of thing. It's the man to show that he's able to provide. If you want to have peace in your marriage, provide whatever this woman needs. Do not get into the conversation of money. Her money is her money. Your money is their money, the entire family. So to have peace, do whatever it takes and you'll be safe. Now, there are also those couples whereby they make attempts to have this conversation, but for some reason the woman doesn't seem to click. Either she does, or she totally feels like if I give this guy an inch, this dude is just going to take a mile. He'll actually say that, okay, I paid rent last month. It means that, this guy will probably think I can always pay this rent. So there are also those moments where some women feel like they will never get into that situation of where they're supportive financially. But all in all, there are also couples that actually sit down and decide on how things are going to happen. Yeah.
That is so interesting, Liam. Like you said, our money, your money is our money. Exactly. This is how it is here because the 50-50 is not really so much here, most especially in Uganda. We must assure you guys the 50-50 issue. It's not something that, okay, things are really changing now because of our economy and everything. Like we have to bring something on the table. But of course, it shouldn't be 50-50. Don't you think it is 20?
28.
2080 because we don't have so much. We are supposed to be taking care of the families. We are supposed to be taking looking after you as a man of the home before you go out there looking really so good. You're taken care of. You're going to come back. Food is ready for you. Everything is ready for you. I do that. Why is it that men don't really appreciate this nowadays? People really feel like you have to go out there, work like the same way as a man. Isn't it being unfair?
I don't think it's really unfair. Because if you really look at it from the beginning of time, a woman has always supported, traditionally, always supported the husband in taking care of the home as well as taking care of a business. If we were talking about being Christians, I mean, for sickness and in health, for richer or poor, that also means that if there's something wrong with him and he's not able to do, then she's going to take over. So she should be trained to help to take care of the business or go out and get a job until he recovers. And if he doesn't recover, she's still going to be there to be able to do that. I think that both parties within the relationship should be able to know how to work, or if you have a business, both should know how to run the business. Okay, but if the man is able, then the man needs to take lead in that campaign within the marriage. And if the woman is sick, of course, the man is going to have to do that, plus take care of his wife, as if he was sick to where she's taking care of him. So the whole 50-50 thing is a Western concept. The 50-50 does not work. If you look at Western society, that whole concept is destroying family values. It's tearing apart families. There's a lot of divorce over it. There's a lot of arguments over it. It just doesn't work. And this is something that Africa should not value, should not adopt, and be rid of it.
I hear you.
Wow, this is really
This is Africa. You read something pertinent. However, there are those moments where the wife is actually making much more money, and the guy is it's a case by case scenario whereby the roles can shift, because there are couples whereby the man can choose to be a stay-home husband to take care of the kids until he's able to secure the bag. But then unfortunately, it's just that there are not so many people that think that way, who can be that patient. There are really very few. Some of them get tired of the whole situation and think that probably the man is lazy, especially if he's the sort of guy that is trying to do things that don't seem to be forthcoming. There are certain things that don't seem to be very lucrative because of the economies where we are living. He could be trying particular hustles that are really not pulling it off. So the woman at one point might get tired of this whole thing. But surprisingly, we found that African women seem to be very patient. I'm not talking about the ones that are the African Americans, but the ones back down here in Africa, they are usually patient. They'll hang in there. They'll only flip if they find that this man is now misbehaving, looking for other women, using her money. Yep.
Yeah, I agree to a great extent on that. However, if he's actually trying to work and his hustles are not as lucrative as hers, I still look at that as a successful relationship. I really don't think, I mean, I could care less what her side of the family or my side of the family would say about our relationship, because our relationship is our relationship. It's actually our business. So if she's more successful financially, I don't think that should damage the relationship in any kind of way. And if people come in from the side and start talking ill about the relationship, I would just shut them out. Now, as far as that second half, you're saying, if he's doing something like taking the money that she's bringing in, whether if he's bringing in any kind of money or no money at all, and then spending on other women, then basically that sounds like adultery to me, and then he should be out for that. But then again, if we're looking at richer and poorer, that type of thing, that type of concept, which is really what relationships are really all about, if you really think about it, if she's the only breadwinner within the house because he's not able, then there's no reason to divorce him for that. I mean, if you truly love him for who he is and he loves you for who you are, then there's no reason for breaking up the relationship, because it just makes no sense. That's my take on it.
Awesome. Yeah, surely I like your point of view. Absolutely. Yeah, but when we get back to say uh, when it gets to the kinds of activities that a stay-home dad is supposed to do, there are those moments when probably he might not. I think some of them are really quite overwhelming. He might not be apt to the task of getting certain things done until probably he gets a house help. So now that's where confusion comes in, because now he may tend to be I'm talking about the sort of guy that has probably tried everything and has decided to become a stay-home dad, taking kids to school, coming back, and maybe doing the house chores and things like that. It's one of those things that sometimes may place a man in a position of probably he would need friends that need to get him out of that zone, because there are tendencies of certain men locking themselves into that sort of zone, and they become, if I could put it, they become sort of docile and not knowing what is actually happening, to try out other things. So now the mix of dealing with the realities of life, that he needs to get out of the house and look for other opportunities or try other things, can become a problem, whereby now the wife that is earning much more is now considering a mix of probably either coming back much earlier so that the guy can start other things. So I'm thinking that, like you said, your business as a couple, this whole thing of, there has to be ways in which men deal with such circumstances. Not all men, it's very, it just doesn't seem to work. Actually, the people in the community might think there's a problem with that sort of man. In the West, I think it's okay. But down here in Africa, they would probably think something is just not right. So, Tina, what do you think? I'm sure you've heard of such situations.
Yeah, that is really so common. Of course, it's not really so much here because a man is supposed to be a man. So when you look at a man, because the other one earns more than if you're a lady and you earn more than the man, you should of course take your responsibilities as a woman. So when they look at a man, because the other one has less money to be taking care of the kids, maybe doing the dishes, maybe the cooking, people will not respect you in society, which is not really fair if you're if you're a family. But I think you're really right. Someone was saying here, why is it that in society allows a man to marry more than one woman, but if the opposite, it is frowned upon? Because I feel like women are just undervalued in society as well. Because when women maybe cheat, when women, let's not talk about what people like, if you're not really contented with the man.
Polygamous is only for the men.
For the men. But for the women, it is really so bad. It is forbidden.
That idea was brought about in Kenya over 10 years ago. It was talked about in the media for quite a bit for about a year. Never went into fruition, but there was one woman that I can't remember if she was contemplating or she actually was married to two men.
Wow. How did she even do that? And how did even society look at her? Because it's like forbidden if you're an African woman and you have two men. How?
Well, it didn't go over very well. But at the same time, a lot of people joked about it. But no, overall, it didn't go over very well. But I guess for her, it worked out for her. But now that I think about it, she wasn't married. She was contemplating on getting married to both of the men. And I guess, if for what I can remember, both men were going to agree to it. But it never happened. I also want to point out, I'm just not going to say the person's name, but let's see, what is it? The love this guy is talking about doesn't exist. Actually, what I talked about actually does exist because it exists for me and my wife, and I've seen it exist for a lot of other African families. So what I'm thinking is you're from the Western world, and that's your thought process. So it actually does exist, and it exists in my marriage. So unfortunately, I feel sorry for you if you think that way, but a lot of people in Africa, they do have that type of relationship. Whether if it's seen on the surface or not, it's there.
That is really so interesting. Still Alpha was saying here, multiple wives is not for masculine men. You have to be able to acquire resources and be strong leader, else won't work.
Yeah.
Because we realized most people really want to get so many women, yet they're not even able to even maintain one person, even a single kid.
So
but
what
they
will
go
happen
on.
to the other kid?
Exactly. And you make women be your slaves, your kid machines, like they keep producing for you, yet you can't even take care of them. You push them maybe to the street, you push them, make their lives so miserable because you're really selfish. You're just maybe curious. So I feel sometimes it's just a bad habit for what men do to women here in Africa, especially in Uganda, because you realize there are so many people who are not even able, to take care of one family, but you find out that the person has another family somewhere else, which is really so sad, and that is really happening in 2020.
That's true. I think I stand with Mrs. Africa when it comes to the fact that there are families that are happy, whereby it is one man, one woman. Those families actually exist, whereby especially in the Christian setting. I know there are other religions where if there are even Muslims that are strict in the sense that or they sit down and agree that the husband won't have extra women to come along to tag along as years roll by.
Very true.
But getting back to the situation, the situation about having one man, one woman, you realize that the so-called fellows that say that it's a man's world, it's not. I think this would rather invite aliens to give us company. But basically, what I'm trying to say is just not possible for us to have uh, to, to to simply coin it that it's a man's world, because there's so much contribution that women make to make the world a better place. And maybe another thing that I've noticed is that when you look at the most successful people, probably in the tech world, you realize that they have only one woman. They are married to one, they only have one spouse, if I could put it that way. Of course, we know the ones that try to make probably see other people, they end up divorcing, and we've seen huge divorce settlements, like for the Amazon CEO. But of course, he has too much money around. I mean, he can still roll on with his life. But getting back, if you're to have a successful life, you have to have some level of commitment. That's the reason why there has to be marriage. Because when you're committed, then you're able to focus on two other things. The person that you're committed to, your wife, she's able to show you the other side, the feminine side of life, so that you're able to achieve holistically in everything. And if it comes to family, the management of the home affairs, taking care of kids, because if you're going to have kids, your kids are supposed to be taken care of the best way possible. The nutrition is supposed to be right. The health is supposed to be right. Not that the husband doesn't chip in if it comes to hospital visits and things like that, but the contribution of the wife, I think, is underrated. People think that maybe she's a trophy wife. She's just at home chilling and looking good. All the nails are done and hair popping, things like that. But it's more than that. There are certain
I agree.
decisions that a man would want to make. Yes, there's some decisions that a man might want to make, and the woman will come in to advise that this will probably not work. And I think we've heard of stories where um, friends of ours have shared stories where they told their husbands that they felt something wasn't right. They might not have a very logical explanation, but they could simply tell you that the decision that you're about to make is doesn't seem to ring very well, either with your values or the economy is not right, or just they have this feeling that something is just not right about something, and they would save you lots of money. So commitment is important. A person who is not committed to anything is actually a very risky individual. That's why some organizations can only appoint you to serious positions if you're married. It's strange, but it happens. That's what some people think, that if you have a family, then you'll be able to take care of a team in an organization.
I agree. And I also want to add to that even with the women that have the outlook outside of the home as somebody who doesn't make decisions according to the outside world looking in on that family, women since the beginning of time have been decision makers within the marriage. And like I'll just give my marriage as an example. I in all the decisions, all the major decisions within our household, I get the last say. However, that doesn't mean just because I get the last say on the decisions that all the ideas for each decision was mine. A lot of the decisions in my marriage have come from my wife, but I get the last say on whether if I think it's a good idea or not. Is it financially sound or not? Some of her ideas have been good and I went with, and some of them have not been good and I've gone with, right? And vice versa. So again, since the beginning of time, it's like a queen makes a king. A wife makes the husband. You know, a wife brings happiness to the household. A man doesn't bring really happiness to the household. That's something that a wife does. But one major thing that women are underrated, and I like the way you brought up that women underrated on these different aspects, these different talking points you're talking about. But they are in a lot of homes are major decision makers within that marriage. Just because people don't see or hear it or acknowledge it, and it's just the husband maybe forefront with all the decisions that everybody can see. I guarantee you, even in Africa, a lot of women help make the decisions within the home.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And people who frown down, frown upon stuff like that. Again, this comes back to the point where who cares what anybody else says? If you let your wife make some of the decisions, even though you're the last decision maker, but she brings up ideas that would benefit the family, then let her do it. That's what I would recommend. Just let her do it. Hear her out. Does it make more sense than what you're talking about? And if it does, go ahead and try it out. Let her make some of the decisions within the household, but you had the last say. It's fine. Just let her do it. Hear her out.
Absolutely. That is very right. Yeah, I also think when it comes to especially the home, the management of the home, the affairs of the home, there's a certain preacher that I was listening to, and he said that there are things that when you see a house that does not have everything that you need in life, and you actually have some kids around, but you don't have a wife, probably your wife walked away for reasons best known to yourself, the home is literally empty. But then also when it comes down, this particular preacher was talking about, I'll talk about food as nutrition and a source of medicine. He was saying that because he was trying to say that he's complimented a lot about his state of health and well-being as an old man, and he said that he attributes everything to the wife, that she's an expert cook, and then food is like medicine, and she's mastered that. Not that she's necessarily a stay-home mother, but she's more keen to making sure that they offer the best meals at the house, and the kids are well taken care of, because we guys tend to be really distracted, and we tend to want to try out so many other things out there in the world. But women will make sure that they focus on what is really, really important, because it's family first. Then the rest will come into play. So them being underrated is actually to our own disservice, us as men. Getting back to This is Africa, all that you said, I 100% agree. And then I think for us guys who are probably not yet married, and even the ones that are married, it's important for us to sort of correct the ones that feel like some of these marriages never happen. There are those that think that there are no happy marriages where it's one man, one woman, and no one is cheating, and everybody is allowed to have an opinion, and obviously the last decision is supposed to be made by the man. Not that the man really wants to make the decision. There are those circumstances whereby actually the woman would prefer to hear you make the decision. She's simply giving an opinion. So somebody commented that why is it that men feel like they should be the ones to make the final say? It's not that they really want to, but the man is the leader. A man is the head of the family. Somebody has to make a decision.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like how you go. Just a moment.
You can't have two heads of the household. Sorry about that.
Yes, absolutely. There are moments when, for instance, when you're with your girlfriend or with your wife and you need to go and grab a bite, and she mentioned earlier that she's hungry, and then you ask whether she needs to get a bite. Would she want to get a bite maybe at the next corner? And she's probably saying maybe, maybe not, but she's actually hungry. So you basically have to make the turn, grab her a bite, and then you go on. So there are those moments when that is just a simple example. So a decision has to be made at a particular point, and you move on. And then I've heard stories of women who are actually disappointed in their husbands or their better halves who seem not to make decisions. They feel like they're either very slow or they are undecided. So somebody has to make a decision.
We can also look at it like this, ladies, and Wilson, everybody in the chat, is that, I mean, you get a president of a nation. The president has many different advisors. The president can't do everything on his own. However, the president usually is the final decision maker after he takes advice from all of his advisors from different aspects and things that need to be done within the country. And then, of course, there's going to be a few things that are basically something that he came up with himself. However, you got to have a lot of people in place in order to run a country, so he can't do everything on his own in order to make those final decisions. So within the home, being much smaller than a country, don't get offended if somebody's saying that the man is the head of the household. As long as you know that there's a woman helping to make decisions in the household, that's really all that matters. Somebody's got to be a head of the household. The man is traditionally the head of the household and should be, because if he's going to be the protector, he also should be the head. That being the protector is also a decision maker. It's a decision to protect the home, wife and kids, property, you name it. So don't be offended by that. If a man is the head of the household, the woman is making decisions, believe it or not, in a lot of these homes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That is really so right, because you have to respect, because without the head of the family, because like you said,
In family, there should be a head.
of course, that's how it is. But now there is something that really comes up in a family whereby, women persevere so much because, of course, you're the head of the family and you feel maybe this person is inferior to you. You don't listen to their decision. In case you want to discuss, you're the one to make the final decisions in any discussion.
Who's the head?
Exactly. Even if you're the head, but at least you have to listen to the other partner, what the other person has to say in a family. But most cases, men prefer to be to make the final decision, which is really being unfair to the ladies in a home or to a woman in a home. And this really happens so much.
What is causing there a lot of
frustration, separation, because we are not listened
Well,
to.
I mean, it's better than having a two-headed goat. Because if you had a two-headed goat, they'd be headbutting each other all day long. So you need one goat with one head that doesn't have two to make those decisions. But hey, there's something else we really didn't touch upon. There's also men out there, I'm sure all of us know some of these men, that they do make the final decision in the household, but they make absolutely none of the decisions. Like they don't come up with any of the ideas, because some men actually rely on their wives to come up with all the ideas, right? And again, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I think he should be smart enough that if some of the decisions that she comes up with or ideas that she comes up with might be a little skeptical, depending on what it is, he should, be able to put a wedge in there and say, no, maybe we shouldn't do this. However, we should all know that there's at least one or two people out there that some men will let their wives make 100% of the decisions, but he'll have the last say.
Yeah, that's true. There are those moments when there are those men who probably feel they were picked at some low point in their lives, and this probably lady decided to take them on, and they they only say yes, let's just go by that. They're not necessarily making the decision. They're simply agreeing to the opinion or the suggestion that has already
True.
been endorsed by. However, I think such men have to get to that point of growing into actual decision makers, and nobody is actually going to make them grow. They really have to. I think that's the importance of being in a community, in a church that has a community of men that would speak into your life, because then your wife at one point would want to be led because she doesn't know everything. So I actually do not know how some families handle a situation where, imagine everybody in the family is stuck, husband is stuck and the woman is stuck, but a decision has to be made at a certain point. So yeah, like This is Africa has stated this. Yeah, those scenarios where a man can't actually say much, but it's up to him to step up and be in the lead, because it's a good thing. I mean, it would be sometimes even the neighborhood can get to know that the decisions are actually made by the woman. Obviously, your life has to go on, but then you want to protect your ego as a man, ego in a positive sense. You want to become a leader, and then not that you want to please whoever is out there, but you want to do it for yourself to grow into that position that God ordained you to take over.
Very true.
Still Alpha.
Very true.
Yeah, that is so true. Still Alpha was saying, what if your men just follow what every decision that you move, and he lets you decide everything? How would you feel about it? To my own opinion, of course, I wouldn't say that he's a weak one, because I know he's the head of the family and supposed to be making the final decision. But I contributing to some of the things, and maybe so that he can help me, guide me, we put together thoughts, I think would be better. But if he follows whatever every decision that I make, I'm the final decision maker here as a lady, I would really think this man is not serious at all, because of the mentality that we know that the man is supposed to guide you, is supposed to be there to, help you, maybe tell you, okay, let's do this. That is okay. Maybe next time let's do something better on something that you've decided on.
I agree.
That's what I would think.
I agree.
What do you think, Betty?
Yeah, I think that is it.
Wow. Yeah, thank you so much.
We can read the comments.
Let me see other comments here. Let me see.
This one says, put a woman in charge. Trust me, she will be doing a lot of things.
I don't know what he means by that. Yeah. Then
I have a question for This is Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
In Uganda, I'll speak for Uganda in particular. We don't seem to have prenuptial agreements. Are they called? Yeah, I think they're called prenuptial agreements, where in the event that you divorce, then your property is not sliced into halves, so that the other party gets to take be part of the property. But I'm thinking that probably here in Africa, I'm thinking actually elsewhere. It's probably one of the reasons why maybe somebody would get into a relationship already thinking that now, if there is already a contract that suggests that in the event of a divorce, resources are not going to be divided amicably, that sort of thing. Probably that's where all the mistrust stems from. Could that be true?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a Western concept again, and I know the U.S. has that And basically, even a lot of people in the U.S. have misconceptions of what that actually means. Just because you get a prenuptial with, let's say, an American wife or a foreign wife that comes to America, whether if you have kids or not, there's no guarantee, even if you sign that type of contract, that if we get divorced, whatever I came into the relationship with, I get to take all of it back. Most of the time, okay, first of all, most people never get those type of agreements. And a lot of times when it comes to a divorce with those agreements, the other half will still get something or half. So there's no guarantee, especially when kids are involved. So the prenuptial agreements are no guarantee that the person who set it up is going to keep everything that they brought in to the relationship or what they had built during the relationship. Now, unless you totally are both in agreement with each other that we won't try to rob each other, because I call it basically robbing one another, then basically, then both of you are, are honest with each other that you just take with whatever you came in with and whatever you built within, you take away. But that law that exists in America, the prenuptial agreement that you're talking about, there's absolutely no guarantee. But even if there was a guarantee, you also have to think of it like this. It's still like kind of like a 50-50 rule. There's 50-50 just doesn't work. It's a way to divide, and there's also mistrust from the very beginning. I understand why some men, especially men, would ask for that, but still there's mistrust because they can't trust their partner because they have that fear. If they get a divorce, he or she, mostly she's going to get half or more of what it is that maybe in a lot of cases I built. I came in with, and then during our relationship, I built for her to have some place to stay or what have you. And then she's just going to take it, and all she did was sit around the house, maybe cooked a dinner, maybe wash dishes, but that was it. And that's the fear that, especially a lot of men don't want to. A lot of these men, they don't even get married in the U.S. or the U.K. and places like that because they're in fear of losing everything that they work so hard for, giving it over to somebody who didn't do anything for it. And then, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to disagree with that. Well, since they married you, they should get something. Well, I think they should get something, but to take half or 75% of what you earned, no, I don't agree with that. But still, it's in order to do that in the first place, William. It's built on distrust, not trust. And I don't think that's something that Africa should adopt either.
Yeah, you're right. I can imagine a conversation starting. If you've proposed to your wife, then when you're going to have your wedding, then you're like, there's a side note here. There's a contract that we need to fulfill. Clearly, it means that you've started on the wrong footing, and I think it brings a bitter taste to the whole relationship. I would wonder how it would be very difficult. You'd always live in suspense. You do not know whether this person actually trusts you. You're always on the edge. Yeah, so I totally agree. So luckily, I've not heard of prenuptial agreements in Uganda, but I'm thinking probably in the West that could be an issue, like you mentioned. Maybe another issue that I wanted to raise was we have you see, there are those, we mentioned that are women respected here in Africa, something like that. There are those situations where the lady becomes extremely busy because she has grown up in the corporate ladder, and then she can barely handle some of the things that she's meant to do at home. It's not that we all know there's a place for everybody in a marriage. So when she's extremely absent from some of those roles, then sometimes the man feels like something is just not right. Probably the meals are not as good as they used to be. Of course, he understands that the woman is really, really busy. But then now there are those situations, especially when the woman probably has to fly out of the country and then she's away for months, and probably things are just not the same anymore. Now, what happens is that most of the relationships that we've seen breaking up, you find that somebody has left the country and communication has broken down, and probably they come back in the country, say, once a year. Or in the event that there is some sort of an emergency, they might not even, okay, they could come back maybe for an emergency, but it's very rare. So I'm thinking there are those moments when um, a man is supposed to stand and keep his word regardless of what is happening in the marriage, because probably that is just another season, or there are decisions that they need to make, and he follows the spouse where she's gone. Perhaps he could get another opportunity, because usually it's when, if the man is, usually the man as the head of the family, if he gets an opportunity to leave the country for greener pastures, and he's making good money, the wife tags along with the kids. But the reverse is not necessarily true. The man would want to remain in the country, and then before you know it, there are those moments when there's some couples where the man simply says, "You're not taking up that position," and that's it for you. I don't know how. Mhm.
I
Yes,
agree.
this is Africa.
I agree, and I'm gonna just address something real quick in the chat. Actually, I'm not wrong about the prenuptial. I actually have an uncle who's a extremely powerful lawyer within the state of California. He's been married, I can't remember, either 3 or 4 times. After his first marriage, he's got a prenuptial every single time. He recommended that I did it as well. And being that he's a very powerful lawyer, and he he's pretty much like I can't remember that guy, some TV show, a lawyer show. Basically, the guy never lost except once on the TV show. That's my uncle. However, he still had to hand over property that he worked for, that his wives didn't work for, and money in a prenuptial agreement with the very ironclad lawyer he had himself. So there is no guarantee with the prenuptial. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at the end of the day, with the prenuptial agreements, the judge gets the last word, and that's how that works.
Oh, wow. How about families whereby the wife has been posted to Africa? For instance, she's an ambassador. Um, she's an ambassador, and the husband has remained in the US. How is this guy going to cope with life?
Can you give a little more context to that? Because I'm not quite understanding.
Oh, okay. I meant that, are there scenarios where an African woman, say, has been moved or given a position to work in an African country, but then the husband has remained in the USA? So don't such circumstances of work create a rift and confusion and difficult decisions to be made?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's natural. I think most marriages are basically in jeopardy when they're separated like that, especially for long periods of time.
Okay.
I
Kevin
mean,
Lowe.
in order for a relationship like you're talking about to actually work, both of them have to be very mature and have some understanding. But it also really does help for them to visit each other as often as possible, so that way, you know, somebody else won't come in from the side and be the side chick or the side dude, interrupting the marriage, and then adultery occurs. So I think they have to be very mature, and they just have to weigh their options if they're going to do something like that.
But incidentally, it so happens that most of the time the decision tends to favor the men. Okay, speaking from the African perspective. So usually the lady gets to lose some of those opportunities, but I can
Oh,
hardly, I don't think it would, it can actually happen for an American to lose an opportunity. I think she would, okay, maybe that's what we see in the movies, but we feel like they're very tough and very serious about the decisions and their career, so they wouldn't really bend low. They won't easily bend if something came up. So, well, I think the environment that the American women are raised in probably gives them the confidence to stand to their word. However, like we said, there has to be that place whereby the leader or the husband, that is the head of the family, has to be listened to. But I'm thinking it all comes down to communication. If he's not a courteous and loving person and supportive person, that is also a very difficult person to listen to or to submit to. So I'm thinking character is equally very important. Probably the woman has gotten an opportunity and she wants to flee, and there are good reasons now that it's an opportunity to make good money.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to say much on that, but I pretty much agree with what you're talking about on that.
Yeah. So, ladies, I beg to leave. It was nice to be on your live stream. This is Africa. Thank you so much for submissions.
You're welcome. It's good talking to you.
You're
welcome. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Liam, for that contribution. We really enjoyed and we learned something really new because some of those laws are not really so common here. So learning something from Liam is just something amazing, and of course, this is Africa. We appreciate you guys for joining in. It is already 1 hour. You guys have been here. We appreciate that so much. This is Africa. We appreciate for that,
for joining,
for the discussion.
of advice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then let's just read through the comments so that we can be able to discuss a few of them. Just a few of them. Yeah, let me just see what I can get here. Let's talk about, let me see that we can relate to. This one got my attention from Poloko Colin. A man should be capable of leading the household. This includes making decisions. However, that doesn't mean that he has to be undemocratic and a dictator like a leader. That is really so true, because if the man is the final, decision maker in a home, it makes you feel so intimidated as a woman, and that makes you feel undervalued as a woman, because if you're two, of course, there's one head of the family, but the other one is a partner. So if you're the other better half, you should also have a right to say something. But if the other one is the final decision maker all the time and you don't come to agreements like together as a couple, then that means that, of course,
issues arise.
Yeah, issues arise, domestic violence arises, of course, cheating comes up. So I think that is really one of the causes that comes, especially here in Africa, and makes us, of course, be undervalued as African women because we have nothing to say. But we appreciate you guys so much for these comments. We've really learned, we've been enjoying to read your comments, by the way. Then Wilson Jin is saying women work harder than men. I think I agree with you. Okay, do I really agree? Women work harder than men.
No.
Men work harder.
They all work hard.
Okay. But I feel as women, we are underestimated in a family. We do so much, by the way. We do,
and
no one notices for our efforts as women. So we feel some things go unnoticed. Some things go unnoticed, and of course they'll be seeing like the head of the family if there's something in progress. Raising up kids as women, because you're always staying with the kids, you're teaching them manners here and there. But if the kid, if the kid maybe graduates in university, they will appreciate the man, they will forget the lady. That happens a lot here.
Yeah, they forget, and the lady did a big part,
a big role in someone's life.
Because I think they do it in monetary terms. I think for me that's what they call working hard.
Working harder. Wow. Yeah, Betty always says neutral.
Yeah, but the women work hard, but not in monetary terms.
Okay.
But in society, it's monetary terms that they see it's the men who
it's the men who work harder. So most people see the monetary terms than what the effort that we put there, like the morals, because I think women really work so much. That's what I would really think. Let's just say good discussion, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Truth. You're still around with us. It's already midnight. We shall just run this for, I think, more
30 minutes. So we have 17 minutes to go.
17 minutes to go.
And at midnight 30. So we
Okay.
have 17 minutes to go.
Okay. Please give us your comments down below so that we can be able to know what your take is, because we feel to a bigger percentage, African women are not valued in society. We are not valued at all.
And today we're trying to find out what could be the reasons why these women are not valued, because they are complaining.
Yes. And we are complaining. Aren't you complaining, Betty? Aren't you complaining?
We are representing them, so we are complaining.
Exactly. Then, Patricia writes, okay, Betty always.
Yes,
Eddie, except me. Eddie just extracted his comment. I was trying to read his comment here. Let us know, is polygamy legal in your country? Because I heard in Kenya, I don't know whether there's anyone in Kenya watching this live stream, because there's a time women went on strike because men were few. Yeah? You remember that time?
That previous case of ours
Mm.
is from Kenya.
Yeah, but it stays in the US. Yes. Because they were saying they were striking because men are few, they are being starved, this and that. So there's a lot of complaints. I don't know whether they made it legal in the constitution, but in Uganda, I don't think. Is it legal? It's
legal.
not. It's illegal.
You choose whether
You choose.
Yeah, it's not illegal. It's legal.
All for African women. As African American, I respect African women as well as all women. We just need to communicate better about what we expect from one another. Exactly. Because expectations are key. If you to meet someone, if you to get to know someone, at least you know your goals, your visions, you see what you expect from them. And of course, if you come together, you have to compromise on some things, because there are some things that are really so hard to change from the other person, especially like the behaviors and stuff. So you have to compromise sometimes, and you have to learn how to compromise as well. But if you're not you're this big-headed person that you can't compromise, that will bring issues. That's what I think. But of course, like at least being understanding one another is something that is really so key. So, Mr. Truth, that is really so right. We respect you as well, because we respect African women and all women, which is really key. There's some places that you go to and you find that men are really so rude. There's some supermarkets that you go to and the bosses shout at these women, at the workers, because maybe they've not done anything right. You see someone really screaming on top of their voices, embarrassing them. That is not really fair. That's not how they treat a woman. We're not being feminists here, but at least there's respect for someone. At least sit them down and correct them. But this happens in society. This happens in public.
This is Africa says, as far as I know, only the Maasai outside of Muslims can have more than one wife. I have not had the discussion for about
13 years
now.
It could have changed. Wow. Because remember that article. It went viral at one point, but thank you for that clarification. I would never raise her to have low standards about herself or let anyone mistreat her. Yeah, that really happens, especially here, like whereby if you get married, you have to respect the man. Like, of course, respect is okay. Respect is key. You have to respect your man as an African lady, but there are some men who go overboard. They go overboard because maybe they paid their dowry, because they took so many things, for your dowry back home. They feel they can use you for anything. They can use you as an object. That is something that is really so, so wrong. This happens there a lot, whereby you even start fearing, how am I going to go back to my parents? This man paid a lot of money, paid a lot of cows, paid a lot of gifts to my parents, paid a lot of money to my parents. How am I going to go back? And you stay in, that mistreatment in a home because someone did something for you, for your family back home. So it all comes to how you're supposed to treat one another at home.
Wilson Jean says, I want to deprogram some African women when it comes to race.
Wow. Having a daughter, okay. Yeah, so mistreating, I think that is just so common with some of the African men without morals. And it depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from a broken home, most people who are narcissists, who don't value women, are especially from broken homes. And these people copy what has been happening back at their homes. Don't you think so? Because I feel because you have that mentality, you grew up seeing it, not valuing, maybe your parents not valuing, maybe quarreling in front of the kids, arguing in front of the kids. You can do that too. You can pass on. So it's something that you have to also, for generations, learn how to treat one another. If there are some things that you really want to sort out as a family, not in front of the kids, because those kids are going to, learn the things from you. This will spoil the future generations. So it begins with us. That's what I think, really.
Okay. Wilson Jim says they should live no matter how many cows and goats.
But of course, because of the mentality, you stay in fear because the cows were taken, the money was taken, there's a function, there's a community
monetary
agreement.
Yes.
There's a monetary agreement there.
You're going to buy something in the supermarket.
Exactly. Then there's society. One other thing that deprives us into this being disrespected by maybe men is because of society. How will society look at me? Society is going to laugh at me. They're going to judge me. They're going to laugh at my family. That is really so common, and that makes people live in fear and live in that misery. So, no refund on the dowry, no refund. Have you seen anyone refunding anything?
People ask for their dowry.
I've never seen anyone reverse dowry. No one reverses dowry here. So once you've taken it, and what happens with the dowry when it is paid? The family members divide it, or it's even given if you're a lady and maybe you had other brothers. That dowry is given to the brother to marry the other to marry wives. So you can imagine maybe the dowry has been already used for another person. So it is really a shame. This really happens here. So you can't go back because of how the other family members are going to feel. They're going to be offended. Maybe someone can even do something really bad to you because they paid a lot of money. But dowry is not refundable.
And this is Africa talked about deprogramming. So then someone is asking deprogramming in what way?
Yeah, I think that was Wilson was saying that.
Yeah, in America, the wife family will come pick up while you are at work.
That is not really so common here. And I think the values in America, how people do their things in the US is just quite different. Here it is just, we live in fear sometimes. When you get into marriage,
do they pick up the cash?
Maybe I think the items in a home. But that even goes up to divorce. Divorcing in Africa or divorcing in Uganda is something really so hard for someone. It's the hardest decision someone can ever make. It is not something that someone can just wake up to and say that, okay, I want a divorce. It's not so common because you have to go through so many people, talk to family members, talk to, people around you, respectable people. You can even go to church. If you're Christians, you have to go to church and talk to the pastor, talk to the priest to work out things. So divorce here is not really so common. So you live in misery sometimes because, you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to talk to these other people to sort out your issues. But that is the mentality here.
Israel says, Isaiah 4:1 says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and will wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, not to take away our reproach.
Wow. So the people who want polygamy.
So the Bible also encourages
polygamy. As the saying says, like in Uganda, most people say, why do we go for women, for different women? Most people, of course, I know there are selfish gains for the people who are not Muslims because of religious issues. I feel people go for polygamy because, they want to be the men, to be respected. Oh, the other one has 5 wives. Oh, the other one is, yes, they cannot even take care of one person. Then competition comes in there. Then jealousy comes in there. Then death is also there because I've realized people who marry more than 5 wives don't live long. That is a fact. Because of stress. Because we've seen women here who are into polygamy, and trust me, guys, these women have a lot of competition. You have to please all of them. Maybe the other one raises their standard. Maybe the other one has more money. So this one will also try so hard, putting you on pressure so that you can be able to provide. This really happens here.
Appeal says some parents will even escort back you to your husband's house, especially if they feel like your husband elevated the family out of poverty.
Exactly. They will even escort you back to your husband. Yes, that's what happens. That's what I was
So
saying.
the lady goes back to suffer.
If you go back home, they will tell you, please, please, please go back. We are not ready to hear this. So Fiona is so right. People will take you back. People will plead for you to go back because they don't have anything to give back to these people, especially the monetary terms, the money they give. They will at least tell you that persevere with. No, you're not the only one who is going through this. So
should we say
depression.
African parents are encouraging?
Yes, African parents are also one of the causes, whereby we live into, we are devalued as women in society because they force you to go back to a man whereby maybe things are not really working out. Maybe this man is a narcissist. Maybe this man is, you know, is a cheating kind of man, but they still force you to go back there. So I feel it's something that is really so horrible. There's one guest here. Yeah, this is Africa.
Yeah, there was something that I forgot to bring up when William was on. And this also plays into the part of women either being devalued or not devalued within the relationship. When you have kids, you should put your kids second. You should put your wife first. And what the reason why I say that is because you married your wife, the wife married the husband, so therefore that relationship has to be number one. Your kids are secondary. You put your kids first only in one aspect. They can't take care of themselves, so you have to fend for your kids. However, I will never love my kids more than I'll love my wife. Because once the kids grow, they are an extension of you. They're going to grow and they're going to marry their own and leave the house. Who's left behind in the house? It's going to be the husband and the wife. So they have to be number one with each other because you want to see your kids be an extension of you. You want them to be better than what you were and stuff like that. But who's going to stay home? So therefore, that whole thing I was talking about earlier, where the women usually ask for the divorce, like in the States or the UK, within 20 years or less, is because once the kids leave and all that other stuff, it's like they never really valued their husband. They never really valued their wives. And that's got to stop. So therefore, if you make each other number one, you can't devalue your wife. And you make your kids number two, and let your kids know that when they're growing up, that when you find your future spouse, you have to make them number one. And once you have your kids, you have to make them number two.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is Africa. That is also really so right because it's the wife. Of course, if your wife is not your best friend, how will it look? Of course, the kids are there. You both love the kids.
Right.
And of course, the kids will get, yes, they'll get the love from both parents. So you won't say that, okay, I would love my kids better than my wife because you're two mutual people. You're the people who brought these kids to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're to say that, okay, I love my kids more than you, what doesn't really make sense. But I think I've
Right.
seen that scenario before when a couple here like got kids. When they got kids, the man transferred all the love to the kids. Then they found
Right.
the wife, even told the wife to go away, say that I'm working for my kids. That is really absurd. So
That's absurd.
That's absurd. Yeah.
And it's weird.
And it's so weird, but it's something that is really so common. I've not heard from one or two people saying the same thing, whereby when you give birth to a kid, the man prefers to love the kids more than, the wife. They even sometimes make the wife maybe feel so bad, go back to their home and just like tell them that they can fend for the family without her. She's useless. She can live with his legacy, whom he calls the kids, which is really so wrong about some men. Those are now the some men who are just selfish kind.
I agree. And the other thing too, in the West, this is such a common practice. It is one of the major reasons why there's out of wedlock births, no marriage ever. people getting divorced too early because they're being put on the back burner as being secondary. And a lot of men will agree with it because they usually been raised by a single mother in the United States. There's not a father figure, and even if there is a father figure, there's a lot of disconnection because depending on how you're raised, more times often than not, you're still taught that your kids come first and they should be loved more than the marriage between you two, and that's not right. That's not right, and it's sending the wrong message. And that's something that Africa does not need to adopt. And I know people that are watching Oprah and again Ellen DeGeneres and all that other stuff, they have those type of episodes that they're talking about that and they're saying exactly those types of things over and over and over again. So when you start picking it up over and over and over again, people start getting ideas. In Uganda, in Kenya, in Nigeria, what have you, they're going to get those ideas and say, maybe I should do that. Or my relationship isn't all that great. I'm going to put my kids first. And even here, in the States, you have a lot of women, and I've seen this throughout my life actually. You have a lot of women that are young, that are not married. They'll get with a guy just to have kids, just so they can feel loved by the kids. Won't even try to work on a relationship. So
That's really so absurd because if you have the intention of getting kids and you're thinking of getting the love from the kids and not the person that you made the kids with, then that is really absurd. That is really so wrong. But I think it's something that is coming up here. That's why you find that there's so many single women out there, because most people say that why is it that in Africa there are so many single mothers, single women left out? It's just because of the decisions some men make here. They transfer the love maybe to the kids, or they kick you out after maybe some few years. They feel maybe you no longer provide what they expected you to be doing. Maybe remember when if you met someone really nice looking with a good body, and now after giving birth, maybe she grows maybe bigger, some things really change from her, and he feels like, I think this is not the person that I married. I want you to be maybe this kind of person, maybe go back to your original size. Such things really come up, which is really absurd. So we feel as women sometimes devalued because you met me, I was in a very perfect shape, I was really very good, I was, doing everything nice. But because maybe the children have come up, I don't have maybe the time maybe to take care of myself really as expected. Maybe immediately after birth, men change, men go for other people. That is something that is really cropping up here in Africa. Immediately people give birth, the men change, That is really happening so much here.
Well, men should change, but because they have a kid, but maybe not in the ways that you're talking about. Is not a positive way.
Exactly, it's not a positive way, because when they change, of course, about loving the kids, I really agree. Both parents should love the kids, but you should not forget the immediate person that you made these kids with. This is really so sad. Why would you really forget the immediate person? You should love her even the more. You should even gift her the more because she brought something really precious to you. Your band of joy. Band of joy, is it that?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But it's something really absurd here. Wilson is saying, yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you, ladies. I'm going to go ahead and get going.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is Africa. We appreciate for that feedback as well. We appreciate. So, guys, we have talked so much. Be anti-girl, don't be influenced by the West. We are not influenced by anything, by the way. We're just giving you our opinions and what is happening here. What we basically tell you guys is what is happening on the ground. We are not taking sides. We are not supporting the women. We are not supporting the men. We are being neutral and giving you everything, everything that is happening on the ground. But we are not really taking sides. Nowadays, we have too many options. I believe that's the part of the problem. Yeah, people having so many options is one of the problems.
just one option. But
What
nowadays
option?
the ladies have to stay. To stay and let things work. But nowadays,
Yeah.
now that they've gotten their own money, everyone feels like,
Exactly. Then someone is saying, where are you ladies from? We are from Uganda, Kampala City. That's where we stay. Thank you. This is Africa. We appreciate for that, Mr. Truth. Okay. Wow. So guys, it is already midnight. We appreciate everyone's contribution on this chat. So the last part that we are going to is to, get to know what we should discuss next time. What do you think we should discuss next time so that we can be able to have a topic? Yes, this is one of the topics you guys suggested last time. Before we close, if in case you have any questions, please feel free to ask us all those questions. We would love to hear from you. Would love to answer all your questions before we go. Let me see. Please ask us any questions in case you have any questions before we leave, and also suggest the topics that we can be able to discuss next time, the things you're really interested in. Of course, we have a few of them already here, but we can still suggest some of them. Yes. For everyone who has contributed to our super chat tonight, Kevin Lowy and Mr. Truth, we appreciate you guys so much.
And
God bless your pocket so much.
Stuck around till
the last time. Yeah,
Matovu,
shout
thank
out
you
to
so
you, Matovu Abu. Thank you so much for supporting us and
Mr.
giving
Truth,
us
thank you.
data. Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys so much. Mike Mweba
I
Lenyabo.
was referring to makeup and dress when I said the natural.
Natural. I thought neutral. Why did I read? Yeah. Thank you so much, Mike, for that clarification.
Mike, quick question. How is the political violence there in Kampala?
It is not so bad as it was. That's what we should say. I think it's not. The situation is coming down.
No, political.
Political violence is still there. They're not your
We
gas.
won't say it is not nice. Political one is sketchy.
Yeah, but at least there's no tear gas or within the city center.
Tear gas is where the rallies are.
Where the rallies are, but within the city center, not really so much.
Mr. Tuk says we have to get you all equipment.
Oh my God, thank you so much. We have to get all those equipment. We just pray we get all of them and we get sorted. We shall really appreciate. Thank you so much for that thought.
Mike says thanks, girls. We'll be there soon, hopefully. Hopefully.
Night from England. Mike, thank you so much.
See you next time.
Yeah, we appreciate. Mr. Truth, we are going to get all these equipments. We are praying by beginning of next year. We have faith. We shall have all the equipment and we start the job.
Drone, camera, everything.
Everything. Oh my God, I can't wait for that time that we shall be able to have all that. Please ask us any questions for the next 5 minutes so that we can be able to close the live stream for tonight. But we appreciate everyone. Shout out to everyone who has joined the stream. Leah Media, This is Africa. Thank you so much for your contribution. That discussion was just amazing. By the way, Leah Media is also a Ugandan YouTuber. Please go and check out his YouTube channel. He's an amazing content creator there. Talks about real estate as well. Talks about random things, businesses, all that. Please go and check out his channel and support a brother. Then This is Africa also supports all YouTubers. It's just amazing. And check out the YouTubers on This is Africa channel so that you can support so many people out there. We appreciate people who are supporting, people who are content creators, who are putting information out there. You guys are just gems, as we always say. Yeah. Then Wilson is saying, Museveni is using military and police against people. We don't want to say anything and comment about that because our political environment is not the best in case we start talking about politics here. It is not really the best. That's what we should really assure you. So Wilson, we shall not really comment so much about politics. It's not healthy. It's not good because things are happening here and there. Yeah, let's give you guys 3 minutes. Tell us what you want us to discuss next time. We have the topics you guys suggested, but
That's
we
one of the
appreciate.
things I'm hoping for a new Uganda.
Yes, we hope so. We hope things really
We
change,
also
especially the
we
city
also
center.
want a new Uganda.
Katumba
So
oye.
badly.
Katumba oye. We are
Super
Katumba.
power.
We are Katumba oye. Jokers only.
Yeah, Team Katumba.
But basically, the topic of the day has been very interesting. You guys, with time.
And next live, if you also want, feel free. Yeah? Feel free to join the live stream next time. Yeah, because we just do it randomly. We don't select people.
Yeah, true.
If you want to join, we can always add you, and we share all this information with each other.
And by the way, in case you would love to become our Patreon, please consider supporting your girls through Patreon. You can go to our videos. There's a link there for our Patreon page so that you can be able to support your girls. We have so much.
Who are already Patreon,
exactly.
By the end of this year, I think we shall be on our
You can be our patron. We are planning for you content as well because there's some content we're organizing exclusive. Yeah,
should really
give them exclusive content. Our members as well on this channel, Kevin Lowy, you're going to be getting exclusive content. We're going to get in touch with you so that we can give you exclusive content as well of your interest, so that you'll be the first to know maybe of the videos that we shall be uploading. So
Jesse Johnson says I'm here.
Jesse Johnson, finally, when we are summarizing, we never catch up with you on this live, but we are so happy that you're here. We appreciate that you're around.
Hope to see you next time, same time.
Yes.
We were just Wednesday.
Yeah.
9,
yeah. Like 9 p.m. But depends on the timing because there's some inconveniences that we are facing a little bit, but don't worry about that. But we are, yes, I'm working a lot. Oh dear. But at least you're having something to do. That is really amazing. We appreciate your support, Jesse Johnson, all the time. He's one of our biggest supporters, by the way. Yeah, but working a lot, I know, it can be stressful sometimes, but at least for a good reason.
Moses says, hello, Banya.
Moses Munanura, hello, Holiotia, Nogambachi, Munanura. Orio, Wilson Jean, that's not good. What is not good? And bye. Kale wambo orareche Moses. Hope you're Munyankole because I'm reading by the name. Hope you understand the language. But bye, we appreciate. That is not good, Wilson Jean. I value African women. Wow. Yes, thank you so much. Are you married to an African woman? Do you have an African woman? Jesse Johnson, you would tell us if you have one. Kwaheri, kwaheri. This is Africa. How do they say good night in Swahili? Kwaheri. Kwaheri. Lala salama.
Ladies, what's the best way to send money to these platforms? Want to take too much of the donation? Huh? What is the best way to send you all money so these platforms want to take too much?
Exactly. Yeah, most of, the YouTube also takes a little bit of it. Yeah, too much of the definition. That is so true. These apps also take part of it. But the best way maybe is through World Remit or Sendwave direct. Yeah.
That will come direct. They will not have to choke.
Yeah, they will not have to be that part of it.
Yeah.
Because no taxes here and there. But the number that is always on our video is the one that we use. So in case you want to donate to your girls direct, you can be able to use the WhatsApp number. Let me see here. I can be able to. What have I done? What have I done? Am I expanding? Now let me see how I can send the number. Yeah, it will do okay. That is okay. 25. Yeah, that is the number that is always in our videos. And by the way, guys, as we told you, we do real estate videos and lifestyle. So for real estate videos, if in case you are interested in any house, any property that you've seen on our channel, feel free. If you have a friend who is interested in buying property here, even if you're a foreigner, and how we can guide them, especially houses, standalone houses, because now we got the perfect people that we are working with for standalone houses, maybe apartments, wholesale. Then yeah, we have the right people that can really help you.
Apartments, we have condos, we have mansions, we have
Mansions,
villas,
villas.
we have variety.
Yeah, so you can always contact us so that we can be able to connect you to the rightful owners so that you can purchase or even do investment in case you want to do business, because today we're looking at some apartments for sale. You can buy, then rent them out. So basically we have so much that we have here. So you can always contact us in case you want to buy property here. We can help you out. We can connect you to the people at least that we know, that we trust, that we are working with.
What is Sendwave?
Sendwave is also like World Remit. You can send money direct to the mobile phone number.
The media that is used to send money
to Africa. Yeah, strictly to Africa. It's like World Remit. So contact us.
Sendwave is an application you can use to send money free to at least 5 countries in Uganda. In Africa, that's Uganda, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria.
Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
Wow. So contact us on that WhatsApp number so that we can be able to get your business here in case you want to invest back home. If there are people, Africans in the diaspora who want to invest back home, we can always help you, get for you these things, these properties you buy.
I'm sure for us, we work directly. We don't work with brokers.
We don't work with brokers.
We work directly
with the owners of the property. That is the pretty thing about it. Before we used to have brokers, but we realized these people are being fishy people. But now we are working with direct people, with the direct owners of these homes. So that's why you see that the prices of these houses are a bit lower. Exactly. Because we are not adding anything. This is the price from the original owner. Of course, brokers add in a little bit, so that they can gain, but we are giving you.
But for us, we feel like you're our subscribers.
Exactly.
So like we are not.
We wouldn't be so selfish. We give you how the owner of the house is selling it, and that is it.
So you can tell your friends also who may be wanting to buy property in Uganda and they don't even know where to start from. Stop sending money because
exactly, because the money is being eaten. You send back home and maybe want something to be done for you and it is being eaten. You don't trust people here anymore. You can do it even online. They can help you and you get your title, untitled, because basically we are now dealing in real estate. Of course, lifestyle videos are coming. We are still working on that. It was affected because of COVID. Yeah, we can't move so much.
For the best in January is also a busy month in Uganda.
True.
So we have elections. I don't know.
Yeah. But good night, Mr. Truth. Have a blessed night. Greetings to your family. Thank you so much for loving your girls. Yeah, thanks, Wilson. Then someone will be like, I'll be there in August. Wow, Jesse James, August next year.
You're most welcome.
When will you have your next upload? We shall be uploading on Monday.
We always upload on Monday. Wednesday we go live, so no video.
Then Friday. Yeah, so Friday we shall be able to.
Friday, 8 p.m. 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually 8 p.m. East African time.
True. That's when we'll be done. Wilson Jim.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Wilson Jim.
We received the Sendwave. We appreciate you so much for your support. Okay, ladies. Yes, Jesse, we shall be expecting to see you in the next live stream. But we appreciate your support, your massive support. This really makes
channel grow, because we need support from you people to make this channel the best.
And of course, motivation. When you guys support us so much, we get motivated to do more.
We are not only the
creative content. Exactly. We have a family back there, supporting us. But we appreciate you guys so much. Africans in the diaspora, people in the diaspora who want to get businesses back home, especially in real estate. especially in real estate, we can be able to guide you. Even these other business ideas, you can always ask us here and there so that we can maybe, in case we have someone, we can be able to refer
to the best people.
And the people we know,
and we trust.
are the ones we trust. So we don't just get you random people.
Too many tags nowadays.
Exactly. But we appreciate you guys so much. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you so much. God bless you. We want to wish you a good night. Tomorrow is another day.
And remember to subscribe, like, and share.
Exactly. Keep subscribing. Don't keep the good news to yourself. Share with your family, friends. You know that there are these girls here in Uganda that are doing this and this. We are giving you, affordable housing, like from the original owners, not from brokers. We are not dealing with brokers anymore. We threw them away. Not as thieves. We threw them. We, by the way, go to the field. How you people motivate us even? We go to the field. We made it upon ourselves that at least we have to.
Because we noticed the price is even very low.
It's very low, but these people really hike because they want to benefit.
We use brokers, but we noticed we are not selling because the brokers are hiking.
I'm hiking the price.
That's why I think. You remember those days the comments were, this is too much. Nowadays we don't hear that.
It's there, but not really. But we make it upon ourselves to go to the field. At least make sure that we investigate, we talk to these people, we help, we get guidance from them, from the original owners. Yes.
Smooth R&B, better late than never. Please enjoy the program as usual. Very informative. I love you. Both
we
my
love
friends
you
and you
so much.
are appreciated.
We love you so much, Smooth R&B. God bless you. What other thing did I want to address that I'd forgotten? I think that is it for now. Catching up with you guys supporting us. We want to just wish you guys a very lovely good night.
And see you next week.
Same way, of course. But of course, turn on your notification bell so that you can miss.
In case of any, it will be Wednesday. But in case of anything, we made it a point this year we want to be committed.
Committed, exactly. And of course, our videos, please go and watch them. Why is it that you people we are over 12.8k subscribers, but people are not watching.
13k.
Yeah.
Our target in December, I think.
We wanted 15k, but help us subscribe.
We want to hit.
It's free. It is free, by the way, guys. Please subscribe so that we can be able to hit 15k subscribers. You guys are the best family that we could ever ask for. Yes. So, guys, we want to wish you a lovely night. See you in the next one. Kwaheri. Bye-bye. Musole bulungi. Afoyo. We are not going to speak all our languages, but we appreciate you. David Thorne, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Shout out. He's one of our Patreons. Bye. Thank you. Bye, Jesse. Wilson Jean. See ya. Okay, Joshua Martin. Bye-bye. The last person. Before I end, who's going to comment? Hey, Babu. Joshua Martin is the last person to say good night. Okay, guys, good night. Let me stop playing around.